Welcome to Christian World News, everyone. I'm Wendy Griffith. George Thomas is on assignment. In America's capital, the fight over Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh has brought out the worst in our politics. Swing senators like Susan Collins required a police escort to protect them from being heckled by protesters as well as the media. Protesters have also taken over senators' offices and sent rude and often harassing messages to staff members. It's become so bad, Senator Rand Paul's wife wrote an open letter calling for civility. She says it's hard for her to watch and hear stories of senators and their spouses being harassed in public, like Ted Cruz and his wife Heidi.
Those people were up in their face, waving their middle fingers and just jabbing their fingers in their face and saying horrible things to them. It's really aggressive, it's violent, it's an assault. That is the opposite of making your views known.
But in the midst of this chaos, groups are coming to the Capitol to pray. Intercessor Dutch Sheets came to Washington with a team of prayer warriors to plead for God's mercy.
I don't think we have to pray perfectly. I just think we have to pray. And if we show up, God will do the rest.
Amen. Well, CBN's Abigail Robertson joins us now from the United States Capitol. And Abigail, wow, what an incredible morning. Talk to us, if you can, about the division, the tension that you're witnessing being there on the ground between both parties. Has it ever been this bad?
Well, I can only speak for the 2 years that I've been covering the Capitol, but no, I have never seen it this bad. The emotions you're seeing from the senators are very real. What you saw, the anger you saw from Lindsey Graham last week was very real. I think there are many Republican senators who are genuinely concerned that no matter what happens with the Supreme Court, Judge Kavanaugh's life has been marked and tainted by this forever, and they feel like the they just feel like the Senate has completely mishandled this whole process to a point that is very damaging, not only for Judge Kavanaugh, but also for Dr. Ford long after this process is over. And I think many senators really want to see a return to regular order, and they fear that future nominees will not accept, and people will not want to fill these positions because of the way that their personal lives and their families are dragged through the mud.
Abby, what are you hearing from Christian senators? There are many believers on both sides of the aisle. What are they saying that needs to happen and needs to be done right now?
Yes, there are many lawmakers that are Christians, and they're definitely praying throughout this process. I ran into Senator Chris Coons, a Democrat from Delaware, a couple days ago, and he actually is a big part of a bipartisan Christian Senate Bible study that meets every Wednesday. And I asked him, what are you praying throughout this process? And he told me every day he prays for the president, he prays for the Senate, and right now he's asking God for wisdom and humility. And I just saw him an hour ago, and he just talked about this process and said that there are things we can and should do to make sure the next confirmation process has a clearer and fairer process. So I think both sides are just upset with how this whole thing has been handled and what we're seeing play out right now.
Yeah, we just saw a soundbite with Dutch Sheets. He's on the ground there. What other prayer ministries are you witnessing there? What are they hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, well, this is something, we haven't seen at all in the media. But while there are so many protesters, you can probably hear them behind me right now, there are also a lot of prayer groups that I've seen this week during the first original hearing and last week. And they're just praying that God's will be done in this situation. And they're just trying to bring peace here in the Capitol and just counter some of just the anger that we're seeing up here right now.
Abigail Robertson, reporting for us from the Capitol. You're doing great work. Thanks so much, Abigail. We appreciate it.
Thank you.